A very good afternoon, parents and loved ones. It's lovely to have all of you here at the very special graduation ceremony of WinSYS City Campus. Now, as you can see, we are almost welcoming our dignitaries to the hall. And so as they make their way, I would like to request all of you to please rise to pay our respects to them as they do make their way into the hall. So what you're witnessing right now is the traditional welcome for all our special dignitaries this afternoon. Of course, with our chief guest being Professor Gihan Dias. So ladies and gentlemen, can I request all of you to please rise now to welcome our special dignitaries, our chief guest, Professor Gihan Dias, Professor University of Moratuwa, our guest of honor, Mr. Mohammed Kiasuddin, Chief Information Officer, Amana Bank PLC, Mr. Fatih Mohammed, co-founder PICMI, Mr. Ziam Abdin, founder chairman WinSYS City Campus, and of course founder and CEO Pay Media and head of academics WinSYS City Campus, Mr. Kanishka Viramunda, together with the director of WinSYS City Campus, Mr. Farhad Farooq. It's lovely to have all of you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome all our dignitaries, in keeping with tradition, we would like to begin with the lighting of the oil lamps. I would like to invite the following dignitaries to do the honors, starting with our chief guest this afternoon, Professor Gihan Dias, Professor University of Moratuwa. Also, our guest of honor, Mr. Mohammed Kiasuddin, Chief Information Officer, Amana Bank PLC, Mr. Fatih Mohammed, co-founder PICMI, Mr. Ziam Abdin, founder, chairman, WinSYS City Campus, Mr. Kanishka Viramunda, founder and CEO, Pay Media and head of academics, WinSYS City Campus, together with Mr. Farhad Farooq, director, WinSYS City Campus, WinCity. So, ladies and gentlemen, together with them, I would also like to invite the lecturers as well, the head of cybersecurity, Mr. Jude Myron, the head of networking, Mr. Sivakumaran Bhuvanendran, also head of computing, Mr. Musaq Mohideen. And together with that, we would also like to invite from the staff, Mr. Hakim Hariz, Ms. Sankalpani Guruge, also the acting director, Ministry of Industry, Mr. Dinidu Priyankara Munidasa. Also, I would like to invite the students, Ms. Roshanika Sandroni and Mr. Dilan Tarush. We'd like to invite those names to light the traditional oil lamp. Thank you very much to all our dignitaries and invitees. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite all our dignitaries to make their way forward as we pay tribute to our motherland. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request all of you to please remain standing for the national anthem of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. And with that, we would like to invite our dignitaries to take their seats over here on stage, please. And together with that, we'd like to invite all of you to take your seats as well. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a few minutes to ensure that all our graduates are seated. And as we do so, we would also like to invite the head of academics, WinSYS City Campus, for the graduation ceremony 2026 to be declared open by Mr. Kanishka Viramunda. So I would like to invite him to do the honors on this very, very special day.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the WinSYS campus, I declare this graduation ceremony 2026 as open. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kanishka Viramunda. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we should all begin, of course, by receiving the blessings of the Almighty. So, to do the honors, I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Ismail Ziam.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح لله ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم له ملك السماوات والأرض يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو بكل شيء عليم هو الذي خلق السماوات والأرض في 6 أيام ثم استوى على العرش يعلم ما يلج في الأرض وما يخرج منها وما ينزل من السماء وما يعرج فيها وهو معكم أينما كنتم والله بما تعملون بصير له ملك السماوات والأرض وإلى الله ترجع الأمور يولج الليل في النهار ويولج النهار في الليل وهو عليم بذات الصدور آمنوا بالله ورسوله وأنفقوا مما جعلكم مستخلفين فيه فالذين آمنوا منكم وأنتم تعملون
Thank you very much. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, Aiboan, Wanakam, Assalamu Alaikum, and a very good afternoon to all of you. We would like to warmly welcome all of you to the graduation ceremony 2026 of WinSYS City Campus. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for all the graduates and the parents and the loved ones, it's certainly a very special day, and especially for the graduates, today is a day where you are being rewarded for your hard work, dedication, and passion, mostly for your commitment as well. So, as we do so, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. I am Javed Bongso. It's an absolute honor to be here on this very special day as the MC for this very special graduation, and of course, a special day in your life as well. So, let me take a few minutes to speak a little about the university as well. So, this campus, ladies and gentlemen, WinSYS City Campus, stands as a beacon of excellence in IT education in Sri Lanka. And for over 2 decades, since 2003, WinSYS has been dedicated to nurturing talent and equipping students with skills necessary to thrive in the dynamic fields of networking and in cybersecurity. Now, our institution is renowned for its commitment to providing high-quality, industry-relevant education that bridges the gap between academic knowledge and practical expertise. And at WinSYS, ladies and gentlemen, we offer a comprehensive range of courses designed to meet evolving demands of the IT sector, and our curriculum is meticulously crafted and aligned with international standards, ensuring that our graduates are not only knowledgeable but also proficient in the latest technological advancements. And that hands-on experience with state-of-the-art equipment such as routers, switches, and servers ensure that students are well prepared for real-world challenges. And our faculty comprises of experienced professionals and industry experts who are dedicated to mentoring students and fostering an environment of innovation and critical thinking. And beyond technical skills, we emphasize the development of soft skills and ethical practices, preparing our students to be well-rounded professionals in the global marketplace. So, ladies and gentlemen, WinSYS City Campus is proud of its robust partnerships with leading educational bodies and universities worldwide, offering our students numerous pathways to further their education. And these collaborations provide opportunities for progression to bachelor's and master's programs, reflecting our commitment to supporting lifelong learning and professional development. And as we continue to advance in our mission, WinSYS remains at the forefront of Sri Lanka's digital education landscape, contributing to the nation's ambitious goal of becoming a global IT hub by 2030. And we are dedicated to empowering the next generation of IT professionals who will lead and innovate in the digital era. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WinSYS City Campus, where your journey towards a successful IT career begins. So let us put our hands together and give a round of applause, everybody. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, to formally welcome all of you, I now have the pleasure of inviting the academic head, WinSYS City Campus, a visionary entrepreneur, tech innovator, and our very own, as I mentioned, head of academics. He is best known as the founder and CEO of PayMedia Private Limited, one of Sri Lanka's leading fintech companies providing cutting-edge digital payment and automation solutions to banks, corporates, and government agencies. With over 2 decades of expertise in the ICT industry, he has been instrumental in transforming financial services and making technology more inclusive across the nation. And in his academic leadership role as WinSYS City Campus, he has been a cornerstone in guiding curriculum innovation and developing industry-relevant learning pathways. And his dual perspective as both educator and entrepreneur provides our graduates with a powerful model of real-world application, strategic thinking, and lifelong learning. And his influence extends beyond the classroom and corporate boardroom. He is a board member of the FinTech Forum of Sri Lanka, helping shape the national fintech landscape, and also serves as the advisory board member of the IT BPO sector at the Export Development Board of Sri Lanka, contributing to policy and strategic direction in one of the country's most dynamic sectors. Furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, he is the founder of Square Hub Private Limited, a platform supporting Sri Lanka's startup ecosystem and mentoring a next generation of tech entrepreneurs. And we are immensely proud to honor one of our very own leaders, a mentor and a role model in both the business and academic spheres. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Kanishka Veeramunda.
Thank you. That was a very nice introduction. Good evening, everyone. Our chief guest, Professor Gihan, guest of honor, Kiasuddin, special guest, Fatih Mohammed, and distinguished guest, Farhan, and also Siam, the chairman of WinSYS City Campus, respected faculty members, proud parents, families, and most importantly, my dear graduates. Good afternoon to all of you. Right. Before I begin, I would like to request all our graduates to please rise from your seats. You may do so. Now, let us give a loud and heartful round of applause to your parents and families. Thank you. Because behind every graduate seated here today, you may take your seats. There's a story of sacrifice, and the parents who has given up their comfort, worked hard, worried more, and believed in you during the moments that you may have doubted yourself. Today is not only the achievement of yours, it is theirs too. And today onwards, you begin repaying that love, sacrifice, belief through building your career. So dear graduates, earning a degree is never easy. Whether it's a bachelor's or master's, success doesn't come by chance. It demands commitment. It demands discipline, and it demands sacrifice. So, but today, one thing is proved: you have not given up, and you have done very well. You have committed yourself to a journey, and you have done it remarkably well. So you have transformed into a confident professionals, critical thinkers, and future leaders. And that's what education is all about. Degree is just not a certificate. It's not just a qualification to hang on a wall. Right? It is a symbol of resilience. It's a proof that you can overcome challenges, and it is remember that if you can achieve this, you can achieve more. But let me remind you something important. Graduation is not your destination. Right? It's just the beginning. And I would like to tell you, today, the technology is transforming at a rate. Artificial intelligence is reshaping jobs, and new opportunities are emerging every day. So your challenge is not to simply keep it up, but your challenge is to lead. Lead with knowledge, lead with humanity, lead with courage, and most importantly, lead with integrity. At WinSYS campus, we have tried not only to educate minds, but to shape your values. Because of the qualification may get you into the first opportunity, but your character will determine how we are going to retain and how we are going to grow. So to the parents here today, thank you for trusting us with your children's future. And to the graduates, today we celebrate your success, but we are even more excited about your future. Dream big, aim higher, stay humble, and never stop learning. So congratulations, class of 2026. Thank you, and your future will begin from today onwards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kanishka Viramunda, for that very warm welcome and for also setting the tone for the rest of the graduation ceremony as well. And so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to kickstart the first of the conferring of these advanced diploma in networking and cyber security. So to do the honors, firstly, ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of inviting the presentation party, starting with Mr. Mohammed Kiasuddin, Mr. Farhad Farooq, and Mr. Kanishka Viramunda. Please put your hands together and give them all a round of applause. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we begin, as I mentioned before, with the presenting of the Advanced Diploma in Networking and Cyber Security. And our first recipient is P.W. Himasha Dhananjana Pallevatta. And ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way here to receive the Advanced Diploma, I would like to request all of you to put your hands together and give a round of applause. As I mentioned before, this is a great feat in their life. A moment to pose for a photograph as well. The next recipient, W.G. Nadisha Manuranga, also Advanced Diploma in Networking and Cyber Security. Congratulations to you, M.I. Fatima Rahmat Hajra. Mohammed Rizvi Fatima Ramla. And from awarding the Advanced Diploma in Networking and Cybersecurity, move on to the Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma. The first of our recipients, the Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in Business Management, Anthony Yokadas and Nansika Virgin. The next recipient, ladies and gentlemen, is Landage Sajana Sewanda Gunasekara. And we move on to awarding the Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma to the Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in IT Networking, AGC Lakshita Karunaratna. Congratulations to you too, Jai Prakasam Srigaran. We now move on to the Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in Information Technology. The recipient is Mohammad Zahidin Mohammad Hanik. A big congratulations to you too, Mathura Ivan Rex. And now we move on to the presenting of Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in Cyber Security. Congratulations to you, Mangalamurthy Kevin Peterson. And the final award for this segment, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to you, Muhammad Mufti Mazahir. Thank you very much to our presentation party. Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammad Kiazuddin, Mr. Farhad Farooq, and Mr. Kanishka Veeramunda. Thank you very much. And so, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to the valedictorian speech. And of course, this is a very, very special moment. And it's time to hear from her. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for BSc Cybersecurity student, Ms. Fatima Minha Manazir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, university leaders, faculty and staffs, family, friends, and of course, proud class of 2026. Good afternoon. Today marks more than just a milestone in our academic journey. It is a moment of reflection, a moment to honor that experience that shaped us, challenged us, and ultimately transformed us into who we are today. All above, first of all, I thank Almighty Allah for granting me the strength, patience, and opportunity to walk through this journey. At first, I won't lie, I felt lost. Nothing felt familiar. But step by step, I started to adjust. and even I was unsure that I would be able to continue. I found people who felt like home, lecturers who believed in me, and families who supported me. And honestly, I won't be standing here without my family, who gave me the push, support, and the strength They gave me the support to leave my comfort zone and follow my dreams. They stood by me in every step, and I am forever grateful for them. I dedicate this achievement to two of my people who made everything seem possible in my life, my parents. Mom and Dad, because you loved me enough, because you gave me the chance of start over, because of your sacrifices, your silent prayers, your endless supports, day and night, I stand here today. To my sister, thank you for being my built-in best friend and my constant reminder that I am never alone in this journey. To my aunt and uncle, your guidance encouraged me and constant reassurance carried me through every challenges. This accomplishment is yours as much as it is mine. A special thank to Mr. Ziam and his dedicated team, including all our lecturers, for believing in us, guiding us, and giving the opportunity to grow. We are graduating at a time when the world is filled with constant change, yet despite every challenges, we kept growing and learning. My journey was marked by resilience and sacrifices. Through it all, I developed a respect for education and its power to transform lives. I am especially proud to stand here as one of the women in cybersecurity, part of growing force on female breaking barrier, where representation matters. WinSYS City Campus aims to empower more women in this field, and I am honored to be here, a part of vision in that field. My dream has always been to attain an education that would benefit to my people. I have heard people saying, you can't break a person who isn't afraid to eat alone, who isn't afraid to get rejected, and who isn't afraid to lose friends in the journey. Because that person has already faced the silence, and they have already set the loneliness, and they have already faced the silence. They have already learned to clap for themselves and starting to encourage the validation of others. You can't bring someone down who has stopped to gain the validation of others, and who turned their wounds into wisdom and pain into power, until I experienced these things in my own journey. I understood that kind of person is held by so stronger than applause. They are so fueled by something so powerful called self-love. Once you learn to stand on your own, they can try to push you, but you will never fall. How true it was. With the great philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your thoughts depends on the quality of your thoughts, the power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. What a privilege it is to rise in the morning, to think, to enjoy, to breathe. It is not death a human should fear, but never beginning to live. The nearer the human comes to calm mind, the closer he is to gain the strength. So always remember, you are just one step away from changing everything. I don't believe in talent. I worked hard my whole academic years. Without their work, I won't be standing here, and no one in this room would know who I am except my family. To conclude my speech, let me end with some more beautiful words. We have created far stronger than just a network. We have created a bond of respect, gratitude, and friendship. Once again, congratulations, class of 2026. Thank you very much.
And congratulations to you too, Miss Fatima Minha Manazir. Ladies and gentlemen, she is the valedictorian, so I'm sure you can put your hands together and give her another round of applause for sharing those important words of inspiration for everyone in this room. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is now the moment to introduce our guest of honor who will be addressing all of you next. He is the Chief Information Officer of Amana Bank and brings with him more than 2 decades of exceptional leadership and distinguished experience in information technology, cybersecurity, information security management, network security, security operations, digital transformation, IT governance, forensics, incident response, and strategic technology leadership. His remarkable professional journey from technical engineering roles in both Sri Lanka and the UAE to becoming one of Sri Lanka's most respected cybersecurity leaders reflects a lifelong commitment to technological excellence, innovation, and leadership. And today, as Chief Information Officer of Amana Bank, he continues to lead critical digital transformation initiatives, information security strategies, and enterprise technology operations, and innovation-driven business transformation. In addition to his corporate leadership, he also has made significant contributions to higher education and professional development, serving as a lecturer and a mentor in postgraduate cybersecurity education, inspiring and shaping the next generation of technology and security professionals. His dedication and excellence, professional integrity, continuous learning, and his passion for developing future leaders makes him not only an outstanding industry leader, but also a true role model for our graduates today. And this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we are deeply privileged and honored to have him with us to celebrate this important milestone of all our graduates. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our guest of honor, Mr. Mohammed Kiasuddin, MSc, also CISSP.
Our chief guest, Professor Gyan Dias, our special guest, Kanishka, Fatih, Farhad, and the chairman of WinSYS, Ziam, lecturers of WinSYS, parents, well-wishers, and my dear students. I don't know whether I have a lengthy speech with the way the introduction is given, but I'm sure I can give my 2 cents to my students who are having an important day today. So it gives me great pleasure and honor to extend my warmest congratulations to all the graduates of WinSYS City Campus on this remarkable milestone. Trust me, you can think I have achieved something remarkable, but trust me, this is the beginning of your remarkable achievement that you are going to achieve in future. It's in your hand what you want to achieve. So graduation is just the foundation of your career. You need to take it forward with your skills, with your ability, with your passion, because the world that we are living in, while there are a lot of transformation digitally, there are a lot of new initiatives in our day-to-day life, every aspect of life, we need technology. But trust me, along with the technology, cybersecurity is jointly important. While you all search for everything on ChatGPT and Gemini and so on and so forth, trust me, without cybersecurity, the entire world will be in trouble. So, cybersecurity degree that you have learned at WinSYS definitely will give you the foundation to take it forward, because I know Ziam is one of the experienced lecturers in the industry. 20 years before, when I fly to Dubai for my job, I saw Ziam in the same airport. He doesn't remember me at that time, but he was going to lecture in Dubai 20 years before. So I'm sure you are in good hands with a very experienced professional in the industry. So my dear students, with cybersecurity, it's not just technical knowledge. Anybody can become a hacker. Anybody can become an ethical hacker. But you need to have certain qualities in order to be the useful resources, useful citizens of this country or this world. That is ethics. Ethics is one of the most important elements that you need to have in terms of cybersecurity. Anybody can have tools. A fool is still a fool even with a tool. But a smarter person will use the tool to the benefit of the entire humankind. So I urge you, request you, recommend you, command you, please be useful, grateful to the community around the world and be useful, ethical. Otherwise, the problems that we are facing throughout the world, even Sri Lanka, for the last so many months, we are faced with so many cybersecurity issues. So I urge you, with responsibility, handle all your knowledge. And with that, I conclude by congratulating all of you. Wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
What a beautiful message, and for a person who has immense experience in his career, just to hear that this is just the platform, just the beginning, and just the foundation is very inspiring as well. So thank you very much to our guest of honor for sharing those wonderful words with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Mohammed Kyazuddin. Thank you very much, sir. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to continue with the awarding of these Quality Level 5 Extended Diplomas. So once again, I would like to invite Mr. Mohammed Kyazuddin, Mr. Ziam Abdin, and Mr. Kanishka Viramunda as the presentation party. Let's put our hands together and give them a round of applause. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to continue, and so we begin with the Quality Level 5 Extended Diploma in Cybersecurity, and the first recipient is Kunanathan Satoshan. Let's put our hands together and give a round of applause to him. Congratulations to our next recipient, Amjad Ahmed. Quality Level 5 Extended Diploma in Cybersecurity awarded to Soundarajan Kishore. Now we move on to awarding the Quality Level 5 Extended Diploma in Networking and Cybersecurity. The recipient is Sasun Jitmal Veerasinghe. Congratulations to you too, Mohammed Shafin Zakir. A big congratulations to you too, Mohammed Zakaria Fatima Samiha. Congratulations to you too on your Quality Level 5 Extended Diploma in Networking and Cybersecurity, Mohammed Zakaria Fatima Sumaya. The next recipient, ladies and gentlemen, is Taventiran Vasitaran. Mohammed Asham Mohammed Aman. G.M. Kalhara Munidasa. And finally, Nuhman Sharaf. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you can put your hands together and give Nuhman Sharaf a round of applause as well for being awarded the Quality Level 5 Extended Diploma in Networking and Cyber Security. Congratulations to all of you. So with that, I would like to thank the presentation party, Mr. Mohammed Kiazuddin, Mr. Ziam Abdin, and Mr. Kanishka Vidamunda. Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure all of you would like to know the experience of the students learning at WinSYS too. So it's my absolute honor to invite on stage to share his experience, Mr. Mohammed Yasir Nizwa, BSc Cybersecurity student. Please put your hands together and give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon to our respected faculty, distinguished guests, proud families, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. Today is not just a celebration of degrees. It is a celebration of resilience, a celebration of late nights that no one saw, of quiet sacrifices that no one applauded, of moments when things didn't go as planned and we had to decide whether to go anyway, and of the people who stood behind us when things felt uncertain. Because if we are honest, this journey was never just about passing exams or completing assignments. It was about becoming more disciplined, more patient, more resilient than we ever thought we could be. And the truth is, none of us could get here alone. To every parent, to every family member, every mentor, every friend who believed in us when we doubted ourselves, this achievement is yours as much as it is ours. Every time you stood behind us, for every sacrifice we may never fully truly understand, this moment belongs to you too. When we look around today, we don't just see graduates, we see stories. We see those who balanced work and studies, showing up even when exhaustion said otherwise. We see those who failed and had the courage to come back stronger. We see those who carried personal battles quietly, yet still made it here today. Different journeys, different struggles, but one shared destination. And that is what makes this moment powerful. There's a perspective that has shaped many of us along the way. No soul is burdened beyond what it can bear. Think about that. Every challenge we faced, every moment we thought we couldn't continue was never meant to break us, but to build us. And today, being here, we are proof of that. Life constantly presents us with choices. Hate has 4 letters, so does love. Enemies has 7, but so does friends. Failure has 7 letters, but so does success. Negativity has 10, but so does positivity. We always have a choice. The difference is not in what exists. The difference is in what we choose. And as we move forward, it is those choices, especially in difficult moments, under pressure situations, where no one is watching, that will define who we become. So choose wisely. If there's one thing this journey has taught us, it's this. No good story comes from everything going right. The best moments, the real growth, are not found in the perfect plans. They come from the detours. Because when things don't go according to plan, that's not the end of the story. That's when the story gets interesting. That's when character is built. That's when resilience is tested. That's when growth begins. So when life doesn't go as planned, and it won't, don't fear it, embrace it. Because if we already knew exactly how everything would turn out, life wouldn't be worth the journey. As graduates in cybersecurity, we are stepping into a world that runs on trust. A world where data is power, where systems define economies, where a single vulnerability can impact millions. This means our role is not just a profession, it is a responsibility. We are not just protecting systems, we are protecting people, their privacy, their identity, their trust. We are the guardians of a trust in a digital world. And in a world that is constantly evolving, integrity will always be our strongest defense. There's a famous line by Mike Tyson: everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, and life is no different. You can plan your career, your goals, your future, but at some point, things will not go your way. The question is not if that happens, the question is, what do we do next? Because the difference between those who stop and those who grow is the ability to take the next step forward. So as we leave here today, let's challenge ourselves to take the harder path when it matters, to stay disciplined and consistent, to not confuse movement with progress, because dreams without goals are just dreams, and progress only comes when we show up again and again. In fact, more of life is just that, showing up, because when you show up, there's always a chance for something greater to happen. And yes, there will be failures, there will be moments of doubt, but failure is not the opposite of success. It is the foundation of it. If we are not failing, we are not even trying. So let us move forward, not just as graduates, but as individuals who are ready to adapt, to grow, and to lead, to take small steps that create meaningful change, to choose purpose over comfort, growth over fear, and integrity over shortcuts. And finally, to our parents, our teachers, mentors, and supporters, for your patience, your sacrifices, your belief in us, this moment is yours. Class of 2026, congratulations, we did it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Muhammad Yazir Nisfa, for those beautiful words. And of course, on that note, we're going to award those who have taken on a challenge and come up on top. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite the presentation party. Of course, this time I'd like to invite Mr. Fatih Mohammed, Mr. Ziam Abdin, and Mr. Kanishka Viramunda to do the honors. Let's put our hands together and give them a round of applause as we continue with the presenting of the Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in Networking and Cyber Security. We begin with the first recipient. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mohammed Falullah Mohammed Sahi. Congratulations to you, Mohammed Falullah Mohammed Sahi. And our next recipient, ladies and gentlemen, is MKA Rashmi Nimasha Silva. Congratulations to you too, Samia Safian. A big congratulations to you, Rajishan Prasad. Mohammed Jamil Mohammed Arkham. Congratulations also goes out to you, Mohammed Ruhullah Rifdi Sharaf. Moragodage Chandimal Asanka. A big congratulations to you too, Vikramasinghe Anachilage Dilan Tarusha. Congratulations to you too. Bamun Singh Arachilage Udara Imaransika Navaratna. Mr. Fatih Mohammed, we would like to request you to remain, and we would like to thank Mr. Ziam Abdin and Mr. Kanishka Viramunda and invite on to the presentation party Mr. Mohammed Kiasuddin and Mr. Farhad Farooq. Please put your hands together and give them a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to continue awarding the Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in Networking and Cyber Security. The next recipient is Disat Senmita Murage. Ravindranathan Karthikeyan. Let's also keep the applause going for Mohammad Marzeen Asjad Hussain. Congratulations to our next recipient, Sabdin Mohammedul Napli. Our next recipient, ladies and gentlemen, is Falil Jeffrey Abdullah. Big congratulations to you too, Gituzan Mohan. Congratulations to you too, Ibadullah Muhammad Ijlan. Ashraf Muhammad Sahir. And finally, B.A. Jayani Kaushalya Basnayaka. With that, I would like to thank our presentation party, Mr. Fatih Mohammed, Mr. Mohammed Kiasuddin, and Mr. Farhad Farooq. Thank you very much. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to hear from one of our very distinguished guests this evening. And so, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest for the WinSYS City Campus Annual Graduation Ceremony 2026 is one of the most Sri Lanka's respected technology entrepreneurs, startup builders, and growth strategists with more than 2 decades of remarkable experience building, scaling, and transforming technology-driven businesses across South Asia and Southeast Asia. And throughout his extraordinary entrepreneurial journey, he has played a pivotal role in creation and growth of some of Sri Lanka's most recognized digital success stories, including being part of the founding journey of PickMe, Yoho, and later co-founding DishServe, demonstrating his passion for innovation, operational excellence, and building businesses that create real impact. And today, he is widely recognized as a visionary founder, business operator, and a mentor and strategic leader who has successfully guided startups from concept to scale, from local success to international expansion. And his journey reflects the true spirit of entrepreneurship, embracing challenges, learning from failure, and innovating with courage, and creating opportunities that transform industries and communities. Now, his dedication, ladies and gentlemen, to innovation, leadership, youth empowerment, and building sustainable businesses makes him not only a successful entrepreneur, but also also an inspiring role model for the next generation of leaders, innovators, and change makers. And this evening, we're truly privileged to have him with us to celebrate this important milestone with our graduates, parents, academic leaders, and the entire WinSYS family. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our distinguished special guest, Mr. Fathi Mohammed.
Thank you. Thank you for that elaborated description. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. So normally I don't take papers. I just do a very heart-to-heart talk. But since when I asked from Ziam, how many minutes I have, then he said, okay, 5, 8. I was like, okay, should be giving us something structured really well, so everyone can take something home. Yeah, so let me do this. Yeah. So before I begin, I want to ask you a question. And I want you to answer honestly and what's in your mind, right? How many of you at some point in the last 12 months felt a quiet fear that AI might make your degree irrelevant? I have been, number of people have spoken to me. I'm doing this, what will happen to me? I'm working here. What do you think? What will replace, what AI will replace, right? Whether my job will be replaced by AI, right? So don't be embarrassed about it. That fear is everywhere, even in boardrooms, even in universities. It's in government policy, and it's absolutely sitting in this room right now. Because that fear, if you channel it correctly, might be the most valuable thing you can take out of WinSYS degree or WinSYS today. Let me be direct with you about AI, not to comfort you and also not to alarm you, but give you the truth that most speakers won't say from a podium. AI is extraordinary. It writes codes, it analyzes vulnerabilities, it processes data at a speed no human can match. It will automate tasks that entire department used to perform. That is not speculation. That is already happening. But here is what AI cannot do. AI cannot walk into a family-owned manufacturing business in Colombo, sit around from a founder who built that company over 30 years, understand the unspoken power dynamics in the room, read the fear behind his confidence, and then begin a system that the people inside that organization will actually follow. AI cannot understand why a distribution network that works perfectly in Singapore breaks completely in Dhaka, not because of logistics, but because of trust, relationship, and how decisions are made in that culture. AI cannot feel the weight of a payroll cycle when cash is tight. It cannot make a judgment call when the data says one thing and you are instinct, but built from years of operation in the market. Say something else entirely. AI operates on a pattern from the past, but a real scale happens at the edge of what has been what has never been done before. That is where you come in. Actually, that's where you come in. What WinSYS has done, whether you really realize it or not, it's trained you to think in systems. You understand networks. You understand how nodes connect, how data flows, how a single misconfiguration can bring an entire architecture down. You understand that security is not a product. It is a discipline built into every layer of the system. That mental model is not just technical. It is the exact mental model required to build a scalable business. Because a business is a system, it has inputs, processes, outputs, and dependencies. It has vulnerabilities, it has latency, decision latency, communication latency, trust latency, and just like a network, it only performs at the level its weakest node. The difference between a business that scales and that stays stuck, it's almost never the idea. It is almost always the architecture. Businesses fail at scale because the founder's mental model was never transformed into a system. Because decisions lived in one person's head instead of a documented process. Because growth exposed every gap that hustle was preparing over. What you have studied, the protocol, framework, structured thinking, systematic problem solving, that is exactly what the next generation of Asian businesses desperately needs. I did not always understand this. When I started the business, when I started building businesses, I thought speed was the answer. Move fast, try things, figure out. And for a while that worked until it didn't. I remember a specific moment sitting in front of a business that was growing on paper but collapsing internally. The team was reactive. Every week felt like a fire drill. Revenue was coming in, but we were bleeding from the inside. From unclear responsibilities, from systems that only one person knew how to operate, from a culture that rewarded busyness over clarity. That was a moment I understood that what I had been building, and more importantly, what I had not been building. I had been building actively. I had not been building architecture. And the question that changed everything for me was not how do I grow faster? The question was, if I stepped away from this business for 60 days, what would happen? The honest answer was, it was falling apart. That is not a business, that is a dependency. And no amount of revenue changes that fact. Everything I had built since then, every framework, every operating model, every approach to scaling has been rooted in one belief. The system must work without you. That is the architecture of scale. Now, let me bring this back to AI, because I want to close the loop on that fear. AI is a powerful executor, but an executor needs an architect. When a contractor builds a building, they follow a blueprint. AI is the most powerful contractor that has ever existed. It can execute faster, cheaper, and with less error than any team you will ever hire. But someone has to design the blueprint. Someone has to decide that the building is for. Someone has to decide what the building is for. Someone has to understand the terrains it sits on, the people who will inhabit it, the regulatory environment around it, and the culture context that determines whether it will actually be used. That someone in the system thinker with human judgment. In the next 10 years, the most dangerous professional in any room will not be the one who knows how to use AI tools the best. It will be the one who knows how to architect what AI is pointed at. The organization that will scale in Asia, not the ones that adopt AI the fastest. They are the ones that build the right system for AI to operate within, and that requires human intelligence, contextual judgment, and the kind of structural thinking that you have spent years building or years developing. So do not compete with AI. Architect about it. I want to say one more thing that is specific to this room and to this region. We are in Asia, and Asia is not Silicon Valley. The rules are different here. In Asian markets, trust is infrastructure. Relationships are assets on a balance sheet that never appeared in the spreadsheets. Timing is everything, and timing is culture. A product that works in one city may fail in the next because of language, religion, economical philosophy, or social hierarchy. These are not problems that AI solves. These are problems that system thinkers who understand people, not just technology, solves. Sri Lanka, South Asia, Southeast Asia, these markets are at an inflection point. There's more capital, more connectivity, and more ambition in the region than at any point in history. And the businesses that will define the next decade in Asian commerce will be built by the people who can combine structural thinking and human intelligence. That is you, if you choose it. You are graduating at a remarkable moment. A moment when the tools are more powerful than they have ever been. Which means the gap between those who use the tools and those who design systems has never been wider. Do not spend your career executing inside someone else's architecture. Learn it, master it, and then build your own. Find the businesses, maybe family enterprises, the growing SMEs, the startups that are running in chaos, and turn it into something that scales. That is where your value sits. Not just as a technician, but as an architect. Your certificate says that you learned. What you build next says who you are. Build systems. Build them with discipline. Build them with understanding that human judgment behind the system is the one thing that cannot be automated. Congratulations, graduates of WinSYS City Campus 2026. The world does not need more people who can operate inside the systems. It needs people who can build them. Go build. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fatih Mohammed, for the message of go build. I think it's a very valuable message to all of us in the industry. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to continue with the awarding of bachelors next. So I'd like to invite the presentation party together with our chief guest, Professor Gihan Dias, Mr. Kanishka Viramunda, and Mr. Fatih Mohammed. Please put your hands together and give them all a round of applause as they join us as the presentation party. And as I mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, please keep the applause going for the recipients of the awards as well. All right, starting with our first recipient, the BSc in Cybersecurity, Fatima Minha Manazir. Congratulations to you too, Lahiru Nilupul Sudhasingha. We continue to award the BSc in Cybersecurity, Amma Mohammed Anas. Vaishnavi Balakrishnan. Muhammad Amar Ajwad Kada. Congratulations to you on your BSc in Cybersecurity, Samar Vikrama Gunasekara Nadun Kavishka. Satyanathan Keshan. Congratulations to you too, Amar Menas. Gikiyanage Tarindu Eranga Harischandra. Rajapaksa Vitanalage Udara Rangana Rajapaksa. Professor Gyandas, we would like to request you to remain on stage. We would like to thank Mr. Kanishka Viramunda and Mr. Fatih Mohammed and invite Mr. Mohammed Kiasuddin and Mr. Ziam Abdin to join our chief guests as a presentation party as we continue presenting the BSc in Cybersecurity. Our next recipient, Muhammad Yasser Nizwa. Congratulations to you too, Kompalavitanage Angela Kalhara. Alutgedra Nadisha Dulanjali Kumari. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently awarding the BSc in Cybersecurity this evening, the WinSYS City Campus Graduation Ceremony 2026. Our next recipient is Mihindu Kulasurya Darshan Pires. Mohammad Imad Nurdin. Rajanathan Suraj Shamal. Next, we are awarding the BSc in Computing to Roshanika Sandharani Andhra Hennadi. Thank you very much to our presentation party, Professor Gyan Dias, our chief guest, Mr. Mohammed Kiazuddin and Mr. Ziam Abdin. Thank you very much. And so, with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to hear the success stories of our students' journeys here at WinSYS. And so with that, I would like to invite MSc in Cybersecurity student, Mr. M. Edwin Collins. Please put your hands together and give him a round of applause.
Wow. So, movement such found my heart. It's a wonderful magic moment where I've seen rooms filled with wisdoms, knowledge, goals, joy. I love it. Good afternoon all. They said often the success is measured in the outcomes. In reality, I would say it's built before that. It's through the discipline and the consistency and the quality of persistence to keep moving forward, even if you fail. I believe in that something everyone in this room today understood as we graduate forwards. This journey was just not about reaching a finish line or setting into comfortable zone. For me, it's about growth. It's building a capacity that creating a movement that make me to move forward to my next stage. When I choose to undertake a career forwards with cybersecurity and especially this academic education, I want to primarily looking for facilities where a balancing environment, since I'm a working professional, responsibilities of my working, plus I need a world class of education. I need an environment that often genuinely flexible without over-compromising academic rigor. This is where a structure provided by the WinSYS and the University of Gloucestershire I'm really proud of. The WinSYS offered me a flexible framework that made this balance possible, while a University of Gloucestershire provide the academic depth that challenged me expand my horizons. Having access to the standards of education such, with the right focus, it's entirely possible to elevate the individual capacity to the global level, while continue to drive your career and your personal, professional life forwards. Standing here today, I'm remembering APJ Abdul Kalam once said, one of my favorite leader and a hero, dream big, keep learning, work hard, and never give up. Most of us, we heard it of never give up. For a professional in a rapidly evolving field, I'm in cybersecurity field working in, those words are just like another wording or just like a movement or a mentor movement. It's for me a resilience templates to make me to forward to day-to-day activities and to my career goals. Of course, no one is reaching here alone, such a milestone today. I am incredibly proud and thank to God to the strength and the guidance throughout my entire journey and the life and day-to-day. My family, their constant support. To the WinSYS, of course, University of Gloucestershire, for the flexibility and this opportunity to carry this cybersecurity of master in MSc. And the leaders I work today who continue to inspire and push me forwards with my careers next. Thank you for them. They're invaluable part of my life. As we move forward, we carry with us, it's just not a title or a qualification, it's a responsibility. It's a responsibility of use what we have learned to contribute, to protect, to build a safer and resilient society, especially in a world where technology is shaping everything in every sector. Congratulations to all my fellow colleagues and graduates. I wish you all continued success and enjoy the movement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, M. Edwin Collins, for the testimony of WinSYS City Campus and this great journey that you have been on as well as a student. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to continue with the awarding of those diplomas, bachelor's studies and masters as well. So I have the pleasure of once again inviting our chief guest, Professor Gihan Dias, together with Mr. Kanishka Veeramunda and Mr. Ziam Abdin as a presentation party to continue awarding these awards. So, ladies and gentlemen, our recipient in Level 7 Diploma in Strategic Management and Leadership, please put your hands together for M. Fariz Mohammed Jifri. Recipient of MSc in Cybersecurity, put your hands together for Mohammed Usman. And we heard him a short while ago, and this time to receive his MSc in Cybersecurity. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for M. Edwin Collins. Finally, to receive a MSc in Data Science, M.H. Fatima Shifna Karyapa. Let's put our hands together and give her a round of applause too. That we'd like to thank our presentation party, our chief guests, of course, Professor Gihan Dias, Mr. Kanishka Veeramunda and Mrs. Ziam Abdin. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to hear from a very esteemed personality. He, of course, is our chief guest this evening, and I've had the absolute pleasure of working with him for several years, and once again, it's an absolute honor to introduce him. He is one of Sri Lanka's most respected pioneers in information technology, internet infrastructure, computer science, and digital transformation, whose contributions have played a historic role in shaping the nation's digital future. He is a distinguished academic of the University of Moratuwa, where he has dedicated decades of teaching, research, innovation, and the development of future technology leaders. He is internationally recognized as one of the key pioneers who helped establish Sri Lanka's first internet connectivity during the early 1990s, playing a historic role in connecting our nation to the global internet and opening the digital gateway for generations to come. He also played a pivotal leadership role in the development of Learn, Lanka Education and Research Network, which transformed academic connectivity across universities and research institutions throughout Sri Lanka. And in addition to this, he has served in key leadership roles with the LK Domain Registry, contributing significantly to the growth and governance of Sri Lanka's internet ecosystem. In recognition of his extraordinary global contributions to internet development, he was inducted into the Internet Hall of Fame in 2013, one of the highest international honors in the global technology community. Ladies and gentlemen, his remarkable journey of innovation, leadership, research, and service continues to inspire generations of students, academics, entrepreneurs, and technology professionals, both in Sri Lanka and around the world. And this evening, we are absolutely honored to have him as our chief guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Professor Gihan Dias.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Distinguished members of the head table, staff of WinSYS, parents and well-wishers, and of course, dear graduates. It is certainly a very momentous occasion today where we see the diplomates and graduates and postgraduates of this institute getting their degrees. And as Mr. Fatih mentioned, one thing you would be wondering is, okay, will I be replaced by some kind of AI? But as Mr. Fatih also said, I don't think that's going to happen right now. Of course, we do not know what may happen in 5 or 10 years. So let me go back a little to some older times which Mr. Ziam was talking to me about when we really started this business of networking. So this is before I think most of you of the graduates were even born, in the 1980s, where I started to do my PhD in California. And we saw this great thing called internet, and it was stupendous. I mean, we could send the message to somebody anywhere in the world and it would receive within seconds. And in fact, we could even talk over the network. And we were wondering, okay, why is this not in Sri Lanka? It should be, right? So one of the objectives I had, together with many other people who are also in various countries, US, Canada, UK and so on, is let's bring this technology to Sri Lanka, and in the 1990s we did. So I am very happy that as part of that we now have a very, I would say, a good internet. Some people maybe complain and say this and that, but when you go to other countries and you see what their internet is like, you realize we do have a very good internet at quite a reasonable price. In some countries it's very expensive, and some countries it doesn't work, but we do have good ones. And one of the reasons we have this is that we have a set of good network engineers who provide this service to us. And you are, most of you, joining that class of network engineers, cybersecurity engineers who keep us safe. And whatever type of AI comes, I believe for at least a fairly long time, somebody has to really understand the system. So if you are worried about your job being taken over by a robot, well, if all you can do is behave like a robot, yes, then your job would probably get taken over by a robot. But if you try to figure out what is it that a robot and AI cannot do, and then try to focus on that part, not just memorize formulas that any system can do it very easily. I try to understand what is happening, try to look at the people part. I still find that many people, when you ask them to design software, design systems, design networks, design whatever, they don't think of the people, the users who are going to use it. And so they just build something, it might work, but it is difficult to use. So we have at LK Domain Registry been criticized for saying, oh, our system is not so good. Maybe some of you have tried to register a domain and maybe some of you had problems. If so, I apologize. But we have heard the criticisms and we are looking at how to improve it. Similarly, whatever you are doing, as many of you are already working, or even if you are looking for a job, and in the future if automation and robotics and AI and all those things start moving into things, think, you know, what do people want? How can we provide it? And that will help you to be ahead of the curve, beat the robot and beat the AI. So anyway, at this moment, I first of all congratulate each and every one of you for getting your diploma or degree and wish you all the best in your future career. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our chief guest, Professor Gyandas, for that thought-provoking address. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is a moment to award the top students with the gold medal. So once again, I would like to invite the presentation party with our chief guest, of course, Professor Gyandas, Mr. Mohammed Kiasdin, and Mr. Fatih Mohammed. We would like to have the three of you as our presentation party. Please put your hands together and give the three of them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned before, this is the moment to award the top students with the gold medals. Ladies and gentlemen, the first recipient, Mohammed Jamil Mohammed Arkham, Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in Networking and Cyber Security. Let's put our hands together and give a round of applause. The next recipient of the gold medal, ladies and gentlemen, is Mohammed Ruhullah Rifti Sharaf, also Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in Networking and Cyber Security. The next recipient of the gold medal, ladies and gentlemen, is Murugodage Chandimal Asanka, also Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in Networking and Cyber Security. Congratulations to you. The next gold medal, ladies and gentlemen, is awarded to Mohammed Zakir Mohammed Shafin. Once again, Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in Networking and Cyber Security. The next gold medal, ladies and gentlemen, is awarded to Sahabdin Muhammadun Napli, also Qualify Level 5 Extended Diploma in Networking and Cyber Security. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you, and Professor Gyandas, we'd like for you to remain on stage while we thank Mr. Mohammed Kiasdin and Mr. Fatih Mohammed. We'd like to invite Mr. Kanishka Viramunda and Mr. Ziam Abdin to join our chief guest as we continue to award the top students with the gold medals. The next recipient of the gold medal, ladies and gentlemen, is Fatima Minha Mohammed Manazir, BSc in Cybersecurity. next recipient of the gold medal, ladies and gentlemen, as we award the top students, is Muhammad Yasir Nizwa, also BSc in Cyber Security. We continue to award the best and top students, ladies and gentlemen, with the gold medals, this time in the MSc in Cybersecurity, Edwin Collins. Let's put our hands together and give him a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the final recipient of the gold medal this evening, Mohammad Hidayatullah Fatima Shifna Karyappa, MSc in Data Science. Let's put our hands together and give her a round of applause. With that, ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together and give all the graduates a round of applause for their fantastic achievements here at the WinSYS City Campus Graduation Ceremony 2026. And I would like to thank Professor Gyan Dias, but I would like to request Mr. Ziam Abdeen and Mr. Kanishka Veeramunda to remain as we continue to appreciate our lecturers on this very special day. And of course, I'm sure all of you are filled with gratitude, especially the students are filled with gratitude towards their lecturers. And this is a moment where we appreciate the lecturers as well, starting with Mr. Nuan Senanayaka. Let's put our hands together and give a round of applause, everybody. Mr. Sivakumaran Bhuvanendra. Ms. K.G. Achala Shalika Dias. Mr. Mustaq Mohideen. Mr. Jude Myron. Mr. Mohammad Mansoor Zahir Hussain. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment where we appreciate all our lecturers as we continue to do so. Mr. U.G.B. Asanka Jayashan. Mr. A.R.M. Farshad. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mathugamage Don Madhura Anuranga. With that, I'm sure all the graduates can put their hands together and give the lecturers a round of applause, a way of saying thank you to them And so with that, I would like to thank Mr. Kanishka Veeramunda and invite Mr. Farhad Farooq, Mr. Ziam Abdin. We need you to remain. Let's put our hands together and give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. This is a moment where we appreciate our invitees this evening, starting with Mr. Sabri Adam Lebe. Let's put our hands together and give a round of applause. Mr. Gayan Abe Gunawardana. Mr. Mohammed Zafir Deen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment we appreciate our invitees. Tokens of appreciation presented to them. Our next recipient is TBS International Campus. Thank you very much, Mr. Ruan from TBS International Campus, for accepting this plaque on behalf of TBS International Campus. And next, we'd like to invite Global Guidance. Let's put our hands together and give Global Guidance a round of applause. Next, we invite Mr. Shakir Tariq to accept this plaque as well. And next, we'd like to invite on stage to accept this appreciation plaque Mr. Mohammed Yusuf Mohammed Hassanin. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Yusuf Lebe Mohammed Yahya. With that, I would like to thank Mr. Farhad Farooq. Thank you very much. And Mr. Ziam Abdin, I need you to remain because we are going to continue with the appreciation, and this time for our chief guest and guest of honor. So, Mr. Ziam, we need you to do the honors on this very special day. Starting with our chief guest, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Gihan Dias. Please put your hands together and give him a round of applause. And next, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite Mr. Mohammed Kiasuddin, who was our guest of honor. And then, ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest, Mr. Fatih Mohammed. And next, we would like to invite to accept this token of appreciation the head of academics, WinSYS City Campus, and founder and CEO of Pay Media, Mr. Kanishka Veeramunda. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, Director, WinSYS City Campus, Mr. Farhad Farouk. And lecturer as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Ziam Abdeen, for being patient with us throughout. And of course, we are going to let you rest a little bit, because, ladies and gentlemen, now to propose the vote of thanks, it is my absolute honor to introduce our chairman of WinSYS. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a respected educator, visionary entrepreneur, and a technology strategist who has played a pioneering role in shaping Sri Lanka's ICT education and cybersecurity landscape. As the chairman of WinSYS Networks and WinSYS City Campus, he has dedicated over 2 decades to empowering thousands of students with practical, globally relevant skills in networking, cybersecurity, and IT infrastructure. A certified expert in the field of network security and systems engineering, he has personally trained and mentored over 24,000 ICT professionals across Sri Lanka, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia. His contributions to the industry were officially recognized when he was honored as the ISACA Sri Lanka chapter for his outstanding service in advancing national cybersecurity education. He is also a strong advocate for digital inclusion, entrepreneurship, and academic industry collaboration. And under his leadership, WinSYS has grown from a local training institute into a globally connected educational platform, partnering with international universities, professional bodies, and ICT forums such as APNIC, LKNOG, Internet Society, APSIC, and ICTA Sri Lanka. In addition to his professional work, he has actively mentored young innovators, contributes to policy discussions on ICT education, and continues to serve as a catalyst for raising the standards of technical education in the region. With a passion for excellence and commitment to student success, ladies and gentlemen, he remains a driving force in building Sri Lanka's next generation of tech leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the chairman of WinSYS, Mr. Ziam Abdeen.
Assalamu alaikum, Aibowan, Wanakam, good evening. Rabbi Israh li sadri wa yassir li amri hawlul luqdata min lisanihi yasfahu qawli rabbi zidni ilman warzuqni fahma. Head table, Professor Gihan Dias, Brother Kyasdeen, Mr. Fatih, Kanishka Virabhinde, Farhad, my dear lecturers, my dear industry friends, I'll explain detail. Dear students, parents. Congratulations to all and welcome to the, how do I say, already they said, I mean, it's your starting journey, and this is your first place of starting point. Yeah. See, when you turn every page, it's a new page. Because you never learned before that page. Okay? So if you already learned, that's a past page. So this is, now you are just turning one page from your bundle of books. Not single book, books. Because book mean definitely that book will cover one subject's area, one subject specialist area. If I say books, it's various, different. Now, think about, see these people, I mean, we are guests, who are the people here? Okay? Running multi-million banking support services, everything, Kanishka, So an entrepreneur, running multiple companies, lecturer, okay, mentor, take Fatih, okay, any business transformations, okay, even if it's a business going towards to a negative, he knows how to take it that to the transformations. Mostly people close the business when, okay, minus accounts, let's close. Okay, that's not the way. So he knows how to transform. Professor knows that, I don't want to tell much about Professor knows, I mean from 1976, he got a PhD in California University. From there onwards, he knows that how he faced the networking issues, day-to-day challenges in the life. But he didn't stay somewhere a rich life there in another country. He came back and he's serving here. So these are the people serving here. Okay, Brother Kiasdin, how many opportunities that he can get to go abroad? He already mentioned that he was about to go that one particular day. He went and he learned, he studied and came back and serving the mother country, mother nation. This is your place. Okay, today you can go to another country, yes, to earn some money because the wages might be not enough for you. But I know there are so many people who are working from here to another country and they're earning in dollars. Okay, jobs like networking, cybersecurity, highly demanded. You know, from 2003 onwards, I used to go for most of these conferences. I see those conferences sponsored by the giants like Cisco, Microsoft. I was wondering why these companies are sponsoring for these networking events, these infrastructure events. There must be reason. No? If someone's sponsoring, that's sponsoring it. Then later, even 2008, 9, 10, all of them, Facebook also starts sponsoring. Okay, they were not exist in 2003. Okay, so they also started sponsoring. Why these people are sponsoring? Because the agenda for that particular event is to how to connect 1 billion people to the internet. Okay, so maybe for about couple of programs after, I show that the agenda changed, shifted one level higher. Now they're coming what? How to connect the next 1 billion people to the internet. So previously 1 billion, now they achieved it, achievable target, achieved it. Now they want to go for the next 1 billion people to the internet. Later, about 1-2 years, now they're saying what? Totally different now. How to connect the last 1 billion people to the internet. So why they want to connect? Because when they connect you to the internet, they earn. Connecting you is earning for them. Your data, your behavior, your buying pattern, okay, your travel experience, your like, dislike. If you put a like, next advertisement will be an ice cream. Okay, if you put sad, next advertisement will be a counselor. Yeah. This is the pattern is working. So they sell by you're connecting you, they are selling. So think about the opportunity, you guys. Why? You need to make sure about connect all these 8 billion people to the internet and maintain. Not only that, you need to protect them. I know that, 1980s, 85s, 90s, they used to say the pickpocket, if you can see all the thieves will be mostly located at Maradana and Kotu area. Yeah? Don't go to Maradana, pickpocket, don't go to pickpocket. Why? What's the reason? The two major railway stations in Sri Lanka, Maradana and Kotu. So the highly crowded area, people try to catch the bus as fast as possible to get to the job or to the meeting or a school or anything. Crowded area, it's very easy to the pickpocket people to what? To rob you. So the more the people are connecting, gathering, that means what? More the robbers also will be there. Thieves will be there, hackers will be there. Okay? Now, you are connecting 8 billion people. And what are you going to do happen? You need to make sure about their protection also. Their privacy, okay, their data, everything you need to protect. So your networking job, don't worry about AI. AI can't come and plug your cable. You need to be there. Okay? So don't worry about the job opportunities, about the things and all. Might be you can use your AI for a different purpose. I'll tell you one example how I used. I was doing consulting for one of the company, one of the multi-billion company, million company, not a billion yet, okay, million company, and they operate from the neighbor country. So I gave a router for them with the voice cards. You know that voice card. They complain after about 3 years of they use the annually maintaining. So after 3 years they said the voice card got burned. I said, okay, fine, let's see. I can't go to the company, bit of far. I asked, okay, why don't you use these commands and give me the report? So they used the commands, gave me the report. I didn't use my mind. I just gave to the ChatGPT, find the problem and solve it. The ChatGPT gave me the solution. There's nothing problem with the card or anything. I said, the complaint is coming as a card. He said, nothing the issue with the card. Okay, there's an issue with an update about the voice iOS. Because router iOS updated, voice iOS not updated. The licensing issue. So I gave the report, okay, there's nothing wrong, it's a licensing issue. You came up with the wrong. Then said, no, we have, because neighboring country, the IT giants are there. So they said, okay, our people are saying issue, okay, let them come. I asked them to come to the team, and I just configure them. This is how we are configuring. Then they found out, oh, this is what. So I used ChatGPT, also I used the common sense, okay, and I did the configurations. It's all, I'm just saying what, don't worry. You can use the AI, maybe for an automation, or maybe anything, maybe for fault finding. Rather monitoring 500 monitors, you can monitor only one computer, and you can say that if anything alert comes, you'll update me here. So you can set all the monitoring tools. This is how. So don't worry about anything. So your job, it's the one going to take, okay? And I'm also very much happy that I can see that some of your students, they already studied HND and BSc, now they're completing the masters. Really happy, all the way coming from Dubai to here for a graduation ceremony to go back tomorrow flight, okay? And one of these students, father was one of my students, okay, long back, okay? Now he sent his daughter to study with us, okay? Well, this is what WinSYS is about. It's your, it's not Gedara Yanagama, it's your Jivitete Yanagama. Okay, your Parambara Yanagama, so next generations, okay? So we'll be there to support you, and my staffs will be there always. My lectures will be there. You can see that you can talk to the lectures. They are not coming for just for a teach, for money or anything. If you are not properly following the class, if you're not answering it, you close the class and go. What is this? Whom am I teaching? Why they're not answering? Okay, I can't teach that. But they very often happen here. Okay, why? That's true, no? Your parents paid for that. If you're not studying, what's the point? Okay, let me come to another point here, to the parents. Hereafter, I think Kanishka and they will be against, because they are depend on the digital currency, digital transactions and all. My recommendation is, yes, you can use the digital currency, digital transaction. Don't transfer from your bank account to our account or any institution account for your future payments. Okay, withdraw the cash. Okay, give them to your kids. Okay, ask them to count it and go to the bank and deposit to the counter to the relevant institutions. Then they will realize that how much they paid. Because this online transaction, just a message, there's no value for that. Okay, they are not realizing some. But I know some students, they work for night, call center, and they come for the morning for the classes. They fall asleep during the class sometimes. But I know, we know, the lecturer knows. I asked, Mokadaputa, what happened? You are in duty? Yes, there was a white guy, was down, time error, and he was shouting at me. It's okay, don't worry. That's how. We know. We know the ping packets, we know the pulse. We know your heart rate. So don't worry. WinSYS will be always will be there. Thank you very much for coming, for attending the WinSYS graduation ceremony. Thank you very much, parents, that you trusted us, okay, and sending your kids to here. Hope they will be registering BAc and MSc classes. They will recommend it to other people. We set this stage, everything for them. It's their day. It's your day. It's parents' day. Okay? We are nothing here. We just working around. Thank you very much for my entire team, my staffs. You won't believe it. The nights they work every day, mostly 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. Last night, I think, one staff left around 2 o'clock. Okay? So this is how they work for it. No, we can't do it in the morning. I need to finish it tonight. So this is how. We might be a small team, but we are an army. We are not just working we are just working towards this one. So thank you all. Thank you very much. All the best. Congratulations. And thank you very much for all the guests who are supported here. This is what you need to build with your network. Okay? You are just connecting the deadly devices. I didn't connect deadly devices. I connected life devices. So these are the people. This is what you need to create. You need to talk to the people, industry expert, subject domain expert, talk to them, understand them, get the guidance with them. I know Ms. Castine is working for Mana. Every Wednesday, he used to take a lesson for the network administrator. My students works with him. I know that. Okay, this is what. So this network is worth more than you completed your degree. All the best. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ziam Abdin, Chairman of WinSYS, for that amazing and powerful message. I think there's a lot to take back home, not just for the graduates, but for the parents as well. And I think it's a message that you should truly take to your heart too, and especially if you want to continue to develop in your careers. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's my absolute honor once again to invite to formally declare the graduation ceremony closed, the head of academics, Mr. Kanshka Viramunda. Please put your hands together and give him a round of applause.
Thank you for that. So once again, congratulating all the graduates and the parents. I would like to formally close this graduation ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kanishka Viramunda. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I think there was a very clear message from all our dignitaries. This is just the foundation for all of you. And from here on in, it is your responsibility to take on the path of your career. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank each and every one of you. We want to congratulate all the graduates for your fantastic work and your commitment. We want to thank all the parents as well. I'm sure it's a very proud day for everybody involved. And on that note, I would also like to thank all our dignitaries for taking time off to be present here today. And it is testimony. Your presence here is testimony that you want to give to the future generation as well. So I really appreciate your time too. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. Have a wonderful day. We'd like to invite the parents to also go outside, have your refreshments and enjoy. We would also like to invite the dignitaries to head on over and enjoy your refreshments as well. To the lecturers first, we'd like to take a photograph of you, a group photograph, followed by the graduates as well. I will help you take on those photographs. So once again, thank you very much and have a wonderful day ahead. For the lecturers, we need to take a group photograph. So as the dignitaries make their way out and as the parents make their way out, we'd like to invite you on stage to take this very special photograph.